So today I'm behind the wheel of the 2020 Lexus LX 570, and I'm going to show you all the features of the interior of this thing. So let's get to it. So as I normally do, I'm going to start going from the left to the right. You have your normal window switches, your mirror controls, unlock, lock buttons, and then you have 3 different driver seat position buttons based on 1, 2, and 3, and then a set button. So to the right of that, you have heads-up display button, some of your lights buttons, like for auto lights inside. You have the odometer trip button to the right of that. Moving to the info cluster, you have your normal tach on the left and your speedometer on the right. Temps on the left of that. Fuel gauge on the right, battery gauge, and you have a little information display in the middle, so you can cycle through different settings and I guess details. So for example, I'm currently on the info screen and I can cycle through right now where I'm on miles per hour. A digital readout tells me the temp, a sway warning to see if I'm awake at the wheel, blank screen, miles per gallon, showing you your range, showing you how economic you're kind of driving, and back to speedo. Now if I were to go to the right, you have some other options like your tire pressure, oil mileage, tire pressures again. You have compass, what music you're listening to, and you can change it with the steering wheel. I'll show you the buttons that I'm using when I move to the steering wheel, and just all the lane assist options, messages, some more options, and just back to that screen. So below that, you can see what the temperature is outside, and this will show you what gear you're in and what mode you're in. So I'll show you when I change out of certain gears, but that's where it'll be displayed. To the right of that is the height of the vehicle. Right now I'm at a normal height. You can change the height to go a little higher or back a little low, and I'll show you how you do that as well. So moving to the steering wheel, you have your normal volume controls on the left, phone controls right below that. How I was controlling the stuff I was just showing you is this right here. So if I go down, you can see it's changing things, and when I went left, right, that's how I change things as well. Lane assist buttons below that. Show you the start stop button, and you also have some other buttons hidden under here, like the power door to turn it off, the swing the back gate open as well. So let's move to the Nav Screen, as I would call it. So let me go to the menu. You've got your normal, the reason it's I should mention the reason it's flickering is the frame rate versus what the camera can pick up, so bear with me. You got your normal destination, maps, radio, media, phone. You got a Lexus app suite. You got info, climate, and a setup. So let's go in a little bit. So you have where you can set up your voice, Bluetooth. Let me go back out. Radio, this is the screen I was on. Media, I don't have anything connected, so there's no point of connecting. Phone, as you can see, it's just a phone with a slash through it because there's nothing connected. If we go to info, you can see your fuel consumption. And this is pretty much what I've been doing for a 26-minute drive to get to my spot where I'm filming. And you can also see that in my little trip info on the right. So that's just a quick look at the nav. So going below that, you have a nice fancy Lexus clock. And below that begins pretty much the climate control, volume, radio buttons that you normally find in vehicles. You got the CD slot right here, hazards. This is how you control, the strength of the fan, the AC blowing at you. This is how you control the temperature, so hot, cold. It features a Mark 11 surround sound system, I should say. Control volume over here, and tuning to whatever you want over there. I'm not going to go through every button. You've seen radios in many cars and many interior videos that I featured. But let's get to some cool stuff. So, right now, everything's kind of hidden, just so for dramatic effect, I guess you could say. So, below the climate system, push this. And right here is a charging pad for your phone. And like many of Toyota's offerings, you pretty much turn it, you have to push it on so then it'll bring power to it. Otherwise, you could, just store anything you want in there. There's a nice old school, what I call smoking port to the right. And you got USB and auxiliary to the left. So, parking switch, parking button is to the left of that. And then, let me get a better angle to show you. This is where your cup holders are hidden. I like it. It's hidden because, this is an area that collects dust, but if you're not using any cups, any drinks, you can hide it. Coming back from there, you have your gear lever. So this does not feature any button to switch out of park. So right now it's in park. I can just go to rear, or reverse, neutral, drive. You can't really see it lit up due to the angle, but it basically lights up the P, the R, the N, or D, or the S. So for S, that's where you can select your own gears. So right now it started in fourth. Back is down. Forward is up. So what that changes is up on the display. Let me go back to drive. So let me go actually all the way up to park. So that's where the P is for park. Reverse, and that's the reverse camera. Neutral, drive, and then when you knock it over into S, you put it in fourth, but I want to go down to first. Just keep pulling back. And it is an 8-speed. Put it back into park. To the right of that is pretty much the whole control module to control what's going on the nav screen above. So it's a little joystick, and I will say it is taking me a very abnormal amount of time to get used to it. It's very, I don't know how to describe it, just you have to be really gentle, and it's kind of hard to be as gentle as you need to be with this thing while driving. So if I were to, let me get a menu. So if I'm, see, I tried to just go down one, but I went down two. Yep, did it again. Anyway, whatever. All right, I'm just, it's a little finicky for my touch. I got a, big bear claw hand, but above that, little joystick, you have a map button, menu, and just a button to easily control what, like page, it's basically a page button. So I'll show you right now. I'm pushing down, basically cycle the whole page, and cycle the page up. Coming down from that, you begin to feel like you're in an airplane. So to the left, you have heated seats and air-conditioned seat button. You also have that on the right for the passenger over here. You have also a heated steering wheel button. Obviously, passenger does not get a steering wheel. To the right of that, this button basically helps you turn, is the best way I can describe it. So if you have a really tight turn, and this thing is kind of big, you push this button and it'll basically help you pass any sort of 3-point turn in a driver's ed test. This is the hill descent crawl control button. So when you push this, you'll have basically, this is different gauges for, basically the manual told me the different, how much you want to put into crawling on a hill, mountain, whatever. But when you push that button, you get I'll show you what you see. It's basically yelling at me because I'm not actually doing anything. Crawl control not available. Select L4 and shift to drive or reverse. So I can't do it in park, but I'm not going to do it while filming because I don't want to do that. You got the traction control off button. This locks out the center diff, and this button right here is for basically if you're starting, in a snowstorm and you want to get going. It basically starts in second gear. It's basically the electric electronic transmission control, and it starts it in second. Right below that is your drive modes. So you have Comfort, Eco, Normal, and Customize, and then Sport S and Sport Plus. So I'll show a detailed video later about the drive modes, what they change, but this is where you change them. So if I were to just flick it, I'm in Comfort, Eco, and then go back, I'm in Sport and Sport Plus. And where that changes was earlier. So let me show you. Now I'm in Comfort, I'm in Eco, Sport, Sport Plus. And then pushing down is how you get Normal and Customized. But I'll go through a detailed, my normal detailed drive mode video showcasing what they changed, or basically talking about what they changed. So to the right of that, if I can focus, is a nice switch that says high 4, push, and low 4. And what that does is the 4-wheel drive system. So it's not letting me do it because I'll put it in drive and I just won't move. Alright, so I push down, I'm going to low 4. And where that is yelling and beeping at me is right there. So I'm going to push it to stop yelling at me. Earlier on where I told you the height of the vehicle, that's where you can switch this, and I'm going high now. And you can really feel it. It's kind of odd. There's no way for me to show it on the camera, but I'll show just a little icon moving. You can see I'm now moving up. Now I'm going to neutral, now low. But let me go just back neutral, normal height. I forgot to mention also, since they're in the view of the camera, paddle shifters up here for the gears if you wanted to put it in the S mode. Behind those switches, you have your little cubby hole, and this one features the cool box. So if I turn this on, you can store some sodas in here, and they will be kept cool like a cooler. It's kind of cool. You have your normal glove box button. It features a remote and headsets for the TVs in the back. So both sides. Behind the driver's seat. Let me get one in view right there. And behind the passenger seat. And they come with nice little covers so the sun does not cook them and ruin the screens. Let me get you a view of the back seat. So 3 rows. Nice leather on all the seats. A lot of room. You can see a fence in the back. You have a nice sunroof. Here's sunroof controls. And that is pretty much it in terms of what's going on in the interior in this thing. If I missed out mentioning your favorite feature of this Lexus LX 570, be sure to let me know in the comments. I'd love to, just know what I missed, or if I didn't mention your favorite feature, just let me know. Thanks for watching.